So aside from the business events and other functions that go on here, of course, we have the much-loved beer festival, which you were instrumental in helping to create at the start. Tell us a little bit about the history of the event to start us off.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always loved Palace and I've always loved beer, and throughout my Palace-going life, I've combined the two quite successfully. I always say that if I don't have a pint before a Palace match, Palace will lose. So I have to have a pint. It's very important. The beer festival came about because we thought an end of season party would be a great idea, and we have the great advantage of having a huge stand in the stadium in which we can hold the beer festival. 2011, I guess, was the first one at the end of the 2010-2011 season, and we've done it every year, and it's a great success. There's usually nearly 3,000 people come along. We have hundreds of different beers, and you know, it's a real end of season party. I'm hoping there'll be something to celebrate at the end of the season, but even if there isn't, we can drown our sorrows.
Either way, it's lovely to be able to go into the stands, for instance, have a pint and look at some of the five-a-side games going on.
You don't have to be a beer aficionado. I mean, the beer thing is amazing. There will be 250 or so different beers. There'll be beers you've never seen in your life. The beers even I haven't seen, and I'm a bit of a beer bore. But you can watch football on the pitch. You can watch live bands. There'll be good food, particularly good food this year. They're working on really improving the food offering with artisan food, and even for those who are not into their beer so much, there'll be some wine, and you can have cheese and wine. You don't have to have beer and a pie if you don't want to.
There's a real focus on the local breweries, isn't there?
Local and craft, yeah. We try not to have anything that's mass produced, anything you can get in the pub down the road. You know, most of the beers we have at the beer festival, you literally could not buy a pint of that beer in South London. And then we have the local beers, which again, actually very hard to find. I mean, we've got beers that are brewed in tiny batches and only sold in 3 or 4 pubs. Last year, I think we had beer from over 30 different London breweries. And bear in mind, a few years ago, when Young's closed, there virtually weren't any breweries in London. They'd virtually all gone. And there's a fantastic renaissance of local breweries. We've got Gypsy Hill just down the road. We've got Late Nights in Penge. We've got Cronks in Croydon, who are our own favourites because they're run by Palace fans. And there's a real excitement about craft beer and all the different styles and tastes, and the fact that it comes from its region. It's South London and proud, the South London ones. So it's a very exciting time for the beer business. So we'll obviously have a London section, but there are some great beers brewed in Yorkshire, for example. That's a stronghold of beer. West Midlands, the North West, South West. It should be very interesting. Good opportunity to tick off beers you've never had.